In the silence before history, before kingdoms, before kings, before even the first written word, there walked a philosopher no book remembers, a thinker not of parchment and ink, but of fire, stone, and sky. His wisdom was not preserved in manuscripts, but carried in stories whispered around fires, etched in the bones of memory, and written in the constellations above. This was the world of the first humans, a world of shadows and stars, where wisdom was not written, but lived. And tonight, his voice awakens again. Imagine this: a prehistoric philosopher, carried by dream or by fate, opens his eyes in a medieval world. He finds himself standing in a stone courtyard where monks shuffle in silence. Cathedrals tower where forests once stretched, bells toll where mammoths once roared. The age of spears has given way to the age of swords. Yet, as he watches the people bow before relics and crowns, he senses something unchanged. The eternal questions linger as they always have. Who are we? Why are we here? What truth have we forgotten? The medieval world greets him with awe. Its libraries overflow with sacred texts, yet its people starve for meaning. Lords wage wars for land and pride, yet peasants still look upward in wonder, seeking patterns in the heavens. They do not know it, but their restless eyes mirror the gaze of their prehistoric ancestors, who once studied the same stars with firelight as their only compass. And so this ancient philosopher, once wrapped in furs, now cloaked in robes, begins to speak. He tells them, "You worship saints, kings, and relics. But long before these idols, we worshiped the mystery of existence itself. We bowed not to crowns, but to constellations, not to fear, but to wonder. Your cathedrals are grand, but the first temples were the stars themselves. Your parchments are sacred, but the first wisdom was written in firelight and memory." The monks stare in silence. Their hands tremble upon the manuscripts. Could it be true, that the truths they guard so fiercely were not born in Rome nor in Jerusalem, but in the forgotten minds of prehistoric ancestors? For every sacred scripture has echoes of older tales, echoes of flood myths, of fire from the heavens, of a great hunt that shaped the destiny of humankind. But not all welcome his words, for knowledge is power, and power is guarded. The lords and bishops see him as a threat. If his truth spreads, what becomes of their rule? What becomes of their sacred authority? When a man from the dawn of time reveals secrets older than their faith, whispers turn to fear, fear turns to accusations, accusations turn to betrayal, and once again, wisdom must hide, just as it did in the caves of forgotten ages. Yet his words do not vanish. They echo, carried in secret from ear to ear, hidden in the margins of manuscripts, encoded in symbols carved into stone. He speaks of a universe not ruled by wrathful gods, but by patterns of harmony and cycles of time. He speaks of a destiny not chained to fear, but freed by knowledge. He warns them, when men forget the wisdom of their ancestors, they are doomed to repeat the cycle of ignorance. Empires will rise and fall as the stars remain unchanged. And here lies the shocking truth. Modern science, with all its machines, has only begun to uncover what the first humans already knew: that the stars do not simply shine, they guide; that the stones of monuments like Stonehenge and Göbekli Tepe were not random, but precise instruments aligned with the heavens; that myths are not mere fairy tales, but coded maps designed to preserve truths too dangerous to be forgotten. What we call progress may only be a circle, and perhaps we are not the first to walk it. What if civilizations before us rose and fell long before medieval knights sharpened their swords? What if the first humans were not primitive at all, but guardians of a wisdom so profound it threatened those who sought power? And what if, In their fear of losing control, later rulers buried that wisdom beneath layers of dogma and authority. The medieval monks saw only fragments. We too are left with fragments, a shattered mirror of the past. But the question remains, what if our destiny is not to conquer the earth, but to remember it? What if the shocking truth about the first humans is that they were never lost? They live on through us, in our questions, in our searching, in the restless fire of the human spirit. So when you gaze at the stars tonight, know that you are not alone. You stand in the footprints of the first philosophers. You breathe the same air, walk the same earth, and search for the same truth. And maybe, just maybe, the answers we seek have been with us since the beginning, hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to remember. If you love this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and join us on a journey into the forgotten past in Chronicles of Extinction.